Okay, perfect. So hi, everyone, again. So I'm Christina, and I'm the recruiter for SAIT. So that's Southern Alberta Institute of Technology in China, mainland China, Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan. These are my areas. So I'm very happy to join you guys today to introduce this great college. We're going to call because the name is long, as you can see here. So we have an abbreviation that is SAIT. So SAIT is, I will say, is a lovely, safe, and beautiful campus for you to join. So I'm gonna explain in detail how great it is, and also the location is a great advantage for you to be present here. So now let's get started. I'll go ahead first with the big location, that is the province. So as Venice shared earlier on the map of Canada, as you can see, Alberta is kind of in the middle. Actually, it's one of the three prairie provinces, Alberta, Manitoba, and Saskatchewan. And Alberta is the largest among the three. So it's a little bit like if you are more familiar with, let's say, the US, you may feel it's a little bit like Colorado. So it feels similar if that's easier to understand. So that's about the the big location of Alberta. So it's kind of in the middle, but a little bit to the west. And also economically and historically speaking, Alberta is very famous for its the natural resources like oil, petroleum, all kinds of this kind of things. So the province itself is very rich in the history because it has loads of natural resources. However, when the time passes by, the province is focusing on developing new area industries, such as services and also tourism, because as you can see here, down right, you have a very, very beautiful scenery place. That is the famous national park, the world famous national park of Banff. So you have this beautiful lake, which is iconic. So everyone, I believe most people who visit Canada will come here to see the Banff National Park. So the scenery is great here, and great service for tourism. So definitely you have to visit this place. So that's a little bit about the location itself. And again, Alberta is great in nature and also great in economy, or let's say financially, because here in Alberta, if you know about Canada, you will know that you have to pay tax when you buy something, right? Which is quite similar as what you do in America. However, Alberta is great. Why? Because it has no provincial sales tax. That means no additional tax you need to pay in addition to the the universal country tax. So there is only 5% of tax you need to pay whenever you buy something. For example, a bottle of water, or it can as big as buying a house or buy a car, something like that. You only have 5%. However, as comparison, if you are living in, let's say, Vancouver or Ottawa or Toronto, you may have a tax of as high as 12 or 13%. So that's a great advantage for you if you want to live in Alberta. You save a lot of money, right? So that's a big one. I would love you to remember. And also, although this is historically kind of nature dominant province, but now, as I said, the province is focusing on developing its service industry. So there are a lot of companies now having their headquarters or offices or branches here in Alberta, in Calgary, for example, and also Edmonton, which is the provincial city of Alberta. So you have loads of big companies, for example, like IBM, Amazon, all those big names. They have office here, so which is a great opportunity for work, right? And also, Canada, I mean, in general, is culturally friendly. So you have you don't need to worry about, say, language or the population or let's say where to buy noodle or where to buy the food you're familiar with back home. So here you have a large population of Chinese in general. So you will feel very welcomed. And also the place is historically having a good connection with the indigenous people. So this is a very culturally friendly or welcoming place for you to live, right? So that's another one. And also you have a free healthcare accessible to you as an international student, but of course you have to get the insurance as a student, of course. And also for the immigration policies, Vanessa has kindly mentioned it, so I'll just skip this part. So after all, Alberta is great in nature, in economy, in scenery, and also in culture, right? So this is about a general picture of Alberta. And more importantly, again, per the immigration policy, here is just some quick data for you to view to know about how welcoming it is now. So as you can see on this, this is a public resource from Apply Board that shows the new study permit approvals in Alberta in the previous years from 2016 up to earlier this year until June. So as you can see, let's skip the pandemic years, which was 2020. So that was downtime when the pandemic was a bit serious. However, it has been growing, right? And as you can see, even only half of this year, it has a higher number of approvals for international students. Right? So this is a promising and increasing trend that we need to focus on. And also, again, Alberta has a higher rate of than the average of Canada overall. So here are the good data that you will, I believe, will help you to build the confidence to study and to obtain your study permit here as an international student. This is the same, which is specifically for Hong Kong students. As you can see in the column on the right, Hong Kong students have the highest, which is for over 400%. So that's the highest, which I believe will give you even more confidence to come and study to obtain your study permits, right, in Canada. So I believe this will be very helpful. And if you want to come, just come. The country is welcoming you. And then, so that was about Alberta, the province itself. And then now let's narrow down and come to the city where SAIT is located, right? So that is Calgary. So on the map at the right, so you can see the Calgary is in the south part of Alberta. So the blue one. So that's Alberta, which is right next to BC, province BC, and then to the left of Saskatchewan. So Calgary is closer to the border of Canada and the US. It's a little bit down the south. So that is where our campus is located. And you may have heard what you may have heard about is that Calgary is beautiful is a beautiful city, because this city has been ranked in quite a few years consecutively, being ranked the 5th or among the 5th most livable city in the world. It is simply beautiful and clean and safe. So it's a great city to live in, to study, and even to immigrate to if you want. So that's about the city itself. And also it's the 4th largest. We are probably more familiar with like Vancouver, like Ottawa. However, actually Calgary is right down the list on the 4th, right? And also, as I mentioned, Edmonton is the provincial city for Alberta. However, Calgary is the largest of the province, right? Edmonton is a little bit up to the north in the province. So that's the location. And also, I don't know if you guys have heard about the city of Calgary before. For myself, the reason I know about the city was because it held the first, it held one Winter Olympics. If you're a sport fan, you must have heard about it because it held and also the first Winter Olympics in Canada, and the second. Probably let's do a quick quiz. Do anybody know what's the second city that held Winter Olympics in Canada? I'll leave it to you guys. It's a very let's say it's a fun fact for you to explore. Right, I'll give it just a couple of seconds. So that's Vancouver. Okay, so if you're a sport fan, then that's a fun fact for you to learn. Anyway, so Calgary is famous in the sense of sport because it was the first one in Canada to hold the Winter Olympics in 1988. Right. So and also for nature, many of you must be worried. Canada is cold, right? And Canada snows a lot. Well, yes, that's right. However, in Calgary, don't worry about it too much. It does snow in winter. Yes, that's true. However, it only lasts a few weeks. And during the whole year, you have most of the days, which is on average 333 days, you have sun. So you will be very happy to see the sun in most of the year. And that's why Calgary is called Canada's sunniest city. And also, as you may know, Calgary is right beside the famous Rocky Mountains, right? Rocky Mountains is a very famous one in North America. And our city is right next to it. So this creates another, I would say, unique feature in nature that is called the Chinook. I don't know if you guys can see here. I'll make a quick note here. Right, so the Chinook, here is my quick note. The Chinook is a unique feature of nature. So our city, Calgary, is right at the foothill of Rocky Mountain. So in winter, when it gets as cold as say below zero and snows, however, in some days, the Chinook comes. Chinook is actually a warm wind that blows from the Pacific Ocean and then cross the Rocky Mountains. You know, when the wind comes up to the mountain and then it falls, right? So it falls right down to our city of Calgary. That creates a very warm temperature, which offsets the cold in the winter. Sometimes it can increase the temperature as much as, say, 15 degrees. So you don't feel that cold here in Calgary, even though it snows sometimes. So this is, I would say, very advantageous and a unique feature that I want you guys to remember as well. So the Chinook is a great one. I love that. So yeah, so that's about the nature. And then the city itself, that is very convenient. You have the stepway, the bikeway, the walkway. You can simply access the whole city, either from the campus or from the downtown or from the river. You can access the whole city, the whole city by public transportation, which is very convenient. We have a stop right alongside the subway system. And also, the city is a global tech hub. As I mentioned, the province is promoting service industry. So we have attracted loads of companies down here. So as you can see, there are a couple of figures down at the bottom. So for example, we are the top 10 in the North America ecosystem in affordable talent. So similar ones, as you can see here, I will not repeat them. But again, this is a great city for you to either work or even to start your own company as a startup or as an entrepreneurship. So you have a great welcoming economy here in Canada, and also in Calgary, most importantly, right? So this is a general picture about Calgary. And then now let's have a quick view of the city, overview of the city by a video. Let me see if I can play it. Right. Can you all hear the sound? So this is the Rocky Mountain. We can simply ascend it in about a 45-minute drive. It's very close. This is the main building. That's the iconic building on campus. And you have a great variety of food, international food. Right, so that's a little video. If you had trouble watching this, then we can share it and Venice can help to pass it on to all of you guys. So that was a brief an overview of the city Calgary. And also again, here is a quick data for why we can choose Calgary with confidence. So this graph shows how many permits issued in Calgary again. So not only the province, but also the city itself. So on the left, you have the cities in Alberta, and Calgary is the top among all of them, even higher than the provincial city, Edmonton. So that Calgary has the highest number of permits issued. And among all of the cities and within Calgary itself, among all those institutions, Southern Alberta Institute of Technology, that's our SAIT today, has the highest number of permits issued. So that's something to note. So as you can see on the right, it has the highest percentage, which when the average is around like, let's say, 40%, as an average, roughly, we have over 100%, right? So SAIT is welcoming, Calgary is welcoming, Alberta is welcoming. Right, so now let's go down to SAIT, the main character today. SAIT, as you can see, here is a phrase I love the most: technology is who we are. Because technology is right in our name, right? So SAIT is a very technology-focused institution, and the campus is very, very close to the center of the city. It's right to the northwest of the downtown Calgary, and as you may have noticed in the video, there is a river, right? Our campus is right across the river from the downtown. So how you can see how close it is, or how accessible it is if you are studying on campus, is just within minutes. And historically, we are old, but in quotation mark. We established in 1916, so it's over 100 years now. It's historical. And on the right, you have this main iconic building, which is over 100 years. So that's the main building on campus. And also we're also the first polytechnic institution in Canada funded by the public. And also we have served as a hospital in the Spanish flu and also a Royal Air Force Training Center during the Second World War. So we have been very vital to the history of even the country, Canada, the country itself, right? And now we have grown to a very international institution with over 1,600 international students from over 100 countries. So you will feel welcomed because they have a very internationally friendly environment. And we have over 9 schools. I will have a quick introduction to the 9 schools later. Now let's focus on some other data on this page as well. So we are, again, we're technology focused, but also at the same time, we are industry focused. We have over 91% of our grads get hired. So the simple logic is, as long as you graduate, as long as you stay here, you are you have a high chance of get employed. So that is the thing we can promise. As long as you study hard, you work hard, and you look for a job, then you definitely, well, I wouldn't say definitely, but you have a very, very high chance of get hired. So that's a mission that we really want to focus on. And at the same time, we are famous for our co-op, that is learning by doing. So for example, we have a restaurant. Well, some of you may know that we are famous for, say, food programs, food-related programs, like baking, for example. That is a popular one. So we have a restaurant in the downtown of Calgary where our culinary students can practice their skills, even to gain credits in that restaurant in the downtown of Calgary. And also similarly, at the Calgary's airport, we have an office there, or let's say a teaching room there, so that our aviation students can practice and learn right in the center of an airport. So as you can see now, we are really focusing on practice or learning by doing. That is our principle of teaching here. So if you want to learn practical skills and you want to get a job, then SAIT is a great place for you. So here are the 9 schools. As I just mentioned, it pretty much covers most of our needs, I would say, as international students, from the traditional business to technology to computer science to information system. We also have like a house construction, let's say engineering related, and also very distinguishable hospitality and tourism. This is my favorite. And also it has a very distinctive ranking as well. So that is our School of Hospitality and Tourism ranked the #1 in Canada and then among the top 20 in the whole North America. Remember, we're close to Rocky Mountain, right? Rocky Mountains, and we are close to the National Park of Banff. Remember that, right? And also, as I mentioned, it's a little bit like Colorado in America. Colorado also is close to the Rocky Mountains, and it has the world-class skiing resorts. Same here in Calgary. We're close to those. So we have a very resourceful chances for students to practice in real life tourism industry, right? So that is a big reason why we rank high among all the Canadian and even North American institutions in hospitality, right? You can practice. And also for business school, we are one of the world's best business schools as ranked by CEO World Magazine, which is also a big one in the industry. Excuse me. So here is just a quick look at our schools. So if you are interested in one of the areas, do come. We have great teaching and facilities and also job opportunities for you. And then a quick overview of our admissions. This is a really, I would say, general information for you, because our program, each program is different, right? So you have to check each program itself so that you can know what the admissions requirements is, either academically or English. However, just to give you an overview, our programs covers from the regular, let's say, bachelor's, the degree ones, and also applied degree ones, which is normally 4 years, but also which might interest you the most is the 2-year diplomas. So that's a big one for you guys if you wanna study and work here, and also if you are aiming for immigration and PR ultimately. So 2-year diplomas are the big one you may want to check out later. But also if you just want to get some knowledge, some skills, we have certificate programs for you as well. That is only 1 year and it's very affordable. So here are just the admissions, but also if you are worried about English, don't worry, we have English program as well, which is called English Language Foundations. We'll have a quick overview of that program later as well. And for English acceptance, we accept the common tests like from IELTS to TOEFL to Duolingo, which has been popular since the pandemic. So yes, we do accept Duolingo if that is more accessible to you. At the same time, do pay attention to our intakes because each intake has a different time of open and close. So be sure to check our website to get the latest information on that one. And here, as I mentioned, each of our program has different admissions requirements. So here is a sample for you of a 2-year diploma in culinary arts, which is popular and also new. So here is a screenshot from our website. I'll give you an example of how to browse our website to look for key information. So when you look at our website, this is the main page of Diploma in Culinary Arts. So as you can see, it's a 2-year diploma program which accepts international students. So that is a very important one, right? You have to be sure the program is open to international students first, right? And also, if you scroll down, you will see all those tabs where it shows overview, admissions requirements, courses, costs, next steps. And what you want to focus on is the admissions requirements. So you have the specific grades that we accept for international students. So here is just an example. Each program will vary, but here is just a general idea how it will show and which level we're accepting. So for diplomas, normally it's just HK DSE that we accept. And also at the same time for English language program, again, the varied tests we list here, we accept them all. However, if you have problem of meeting the minimum requirement for English, we have the English Language Foundations program for you, which is called ELF in abbreviation. So we have that for you to prepare you prior to the academic program. So this is right on campus, and it has different levels for you, and we will match your level to these classes. It has 5 levels overall, and it has multiple start dates, so it's flexible. And per the fee information, I would say it's affordable, and it's only around 16,000 per year. So that's a quick overview of the ELF program. And let's talk about fees. So EFL is around 16,000 per year. So that's pretty much the average of our institution itself for the for the tuition. So, however, again, each program is different, so you have to check. But the average is around 16 to, I would say, 20,000 per year on average. That's the tuition. However, again, you have to consider like living expenses and the similar stuff, right? But again, we have to remember we have a very, very low tax rate within the whole Canada environment, right? We have only 5. We don't have the provincial sales tax, right? So that is a big advantage against all the big and famous, or let's say familiar cities like Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal, right? Ottawa, all the big ones. We only have 5, so you save a lot here. And the tuition is relatively lower. So this is a cost-effective place for you to study. And also, as Vanessa mentioned, today during this session, all the attendees have a special offer that is 2 application fee waivers if you would like to apply after this session. So if you are interested, do come to Venice. We will let you have more information on that one. And finally, so we are very supportive for international students. On the right side, you can have an overview of the services, the excellent services we provide you as an international student. We have Mandarin and Cantonese speaking advisor for you to meet in person on campus. If you have any problem or any question you want to ask on campus, but you feel less confident in speaking English, we have an advisor, Cantonese and Mandarin speaking advisor on campus for you to reach out to. So that we provide excellent student services here. And also, most importantly, the SAIT and also the city itself welcome you. I would say as warmly as the Chinook. Remember Chinook, the warm wind down from the Rocky Mountain. So yes, SAIT welcomes you as warmly as the Chinook. That's a catchy phrase I love to use during my presentation.
咁咧提翻大家有幾樣嘢要留意啦。等陣sorry。係啦，咁大家都想知道有啲咩嘢準備嘅申請文件啦，咁呢個有個 checklist 大家可以 cap 咗佢啦。如果你之後 cap 唔切嘅話咧，可以 by WhatsApp 問翻我哋嘅。大家 send 到即係收到我哋嘅 Zoom link 都係可以同我哋 contact 嘅一個 WhatsApp 嚟㗎啦。攞翻所有嘅學歷嘅成績單啦、畢業證書啦，盡量 gather 好啦。如果冇中學畢業證書都唔緊要嘅，但係盡量都揾翻俾我哋啦。但係如果你係曾經考會考或者 A level 張 cert 唔見咗嘅，就一定要 request 翻㗎啦，因為全部都係睇嗰張 cert 嘅，或者你 DSE 有咁都係用 DSE 啦。英文成績頭先都講咗幾次㗎啦。究竟可唔可以 waive 英文咧？如果你喺香港讀個 bachelor， 唔好意思，據我所知係唔可以 waive 㗎啦。其他學校得，但係唔代表 SAIT 係可以嘅。咁就算你教學語言係英文咧，都 waive 唔到㗎啦。咁所以我建議大家都係考翻個 IELTS 或者 Duolingo 啦。咁個要求咧，網上面有寫嘅。如果你真係想知，就到時再問我哋啦。攞翻個有效嘅護照啦，有 passport 港版啦，有相嗰頁同埋簽名嗰頁俾翻我哋啦。一個 CV 簡單俾翻你自己嘅 background 我哋啦。譬如你尤其是中學中學邊年至邊年讀啦，大學邊年至邊年讀啦，咁寫翻晒俾我哋啦。咁到時我哋幫你做 application 都會易啲嘅。咁所有嘅 application 都會 full 我哋去做噶啦。咁因為我哋有個 system 去 monitor 所有嘅 applicant 啫。咁大家只要集齊晒啲嘢就可以email 我哋，或者你by WhatsApp 就有啲嘢唔清晰嘅都可以去問我哋嘅。咁但係呢個就係 first step 啦。咁報學校啦。但係頭先我都強調咗幾次，就係最好同我哋做個 consultation 嘅。嗱，頭先我都有講過，咪有2個免費嗰個application fee 名額嘅咧。記住啊，如果想攞呢2個咧，麻煩都要同我哋做一個 consultation， 我哋都要了解下你嘅背景先嘅。即係我哋唔係貿然話你自己俾晒啲嘢，我就俾呢個application 嘅。咁我哋都想俾翻係真係 full 我哋去做學校申請啦，full 我哋做學生簽證申請嘅客咧係會優先俾咗先嘅，係啦。咁所以咧，大家就陣間我會俾翻個 QR code 俾大家約翻個時。拜拜大家。